Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a good week. Wanted to make this video quick here. Yesterday I ended up getting in this Mcnees PM MAC 2, but of course this is the 3.5-inch version in Magnacut. I did end up missing out on the DLT drop of these a couple weeks ago. They went quick, fast, and in a hurry, and now kind of what I've seen is a lot of these are kind of coming up on the secondary market, and since I had a few good knives to compare it to, as well as spent a day carrying it, well, actually yesterday and today, wanted to give my initial impressions of it. And this is the box that it came in, standard Mcnees. Inside has that the metal placard that kind of has the details on it, so pretty nice box, nothing out of the ordinary. I do also, and I've reviewed it in the past, but I have the 3-inch version of the MAC 2, but it's the triple aught design version. And with that, I'm not going to say it's a safe queen, but I'm still kind of on the fence about whether I want to use it or whether I'm going to pass it on to a triple aught design collector. But I was able to pick up kind of a user 3-inch as well, and this one's in 20 CV, so I just wanted to get it out there, kind of like that direct comparison, to the 3-inch versus the 3.5-inch. So anyone that's kind of interested in picking one up now in the secondary market can kind of see what they're getting into. And right from the jump, I mean, as you can see here, the 3.5 is significantly bigger as far as the blade goes, as well as the handle size, and that was actually really refreshing for me to see. I do have really large hands, and my past experience with the 3-inch, I was kind of like, man, if they only made a 3.5 or a 4-inch, I would be all over that, because traditionally I do like larger knives. But yeah, so now I kind of have both to compare, and thought I could, kind of inform anyone who's trying to make a decision whether they want to pick one of these up on the secondary market. The MSRP on this was $565 without tax and shipping, and from what I've seen on the secondary right now, they're going for about $600 to $630, $650. So keep that in mind too, because this is obviously a pretty substantial investment as far as knives go, and with how high gas prices are and the economy writ large, wanted to let people make the most informed decision before they go, spending money on this thing. Other comparisons that I wanted to make to this, here is the 3.5 compared to a Spyderco Shaman. So there's that. I also grabbed a Benchmade Bug Out, see right next to that. And then finally a Spyderco PM2, so there it is next to that. So definitely a large knife. It literally is. I mean, if you compare it side to side to the 3-inch, it's just a more blown up version of that. But the details on this one, so the color that I got is like the green fastback design, which I do like the etching. All this is done in-house. I think it gives you pretty good real estate. Feels good. It's not overly abrasive, anything like that, but still gives you a little bit more grip than a smooth or more stonewash finish on the 3-inch that I have here. As I said before, this one's in CPM Magnacut. It features titanium handles. All the hardware you see here is all stainless steel. The overall length is going to be 7.5 inches, and I thought this was kind of funny. If you go on Mcnees' website, the blade length is actually 3.4 inches, so it's not a full 3.5, so similar to those like Fox Body Mustangs. They say 5.0 on them, but it's not quite a 5-liter. We see that here, but it really was of no consequence. I couldn't notice the difference of the tenth we were missing here. This one, similarly to the 3-inch, it's running caged bearings. It also has a ceramic detent, and it weighs 4.5 ounces, which it's a little stout, I'll be honest with you, but again, it's full frame. You have that sandwich construction of the two sides of the frame, similar to the 3-inch. So all around, I mean, that's the biggest takeaway. It's just a more blown up version of that 3-inch, but I definitely wanted to make it clear to you guys, what you're getting into and what the difference is. All right, and this isn't going to be a full review. I just kind of wanted to go through my initial impressions. Again, I got this in the mail yesterday, carried it, played with it last night, and then carried it all day today at work. My initial impressions are it is much more comfortable in my hand compared to the 3-inch. Like, I really do like the hand feel of it, and similarly to the 3-inch, this pocket clip is perfect. It's not the same as the 3-inch, obviously. It's a little bit bigger, but it is definitely proportionate to what you get on the 3-inch, and they knocked it out of the park. Like, I love the spoon design. It's really comfortable. disappeared in my pocket. Couldn't say enough good things about that. The interesting thing that I noticed is the thumb studs are actually, whether it's the 3-inch or the 3.5 inch, they're actually the same diameter. So the one on the 3-inch is a little bit almost like chamfered. I'll try to turn it this way so you can see it better, but they are actually the same base diameter. And I really did find, and one of the things that I don't know, that I noticed kind of right from the jump, I don't know if it's the detent, and I did put some knife oil in here to try to loosen it up. It definitely digs into your finger, and it's almost like with these cage bearings, you have to get them warmed up. Like when I first fired it, like in the morning, or if I put it down for a little bit and then picked it back up, you almost need to, and again, prior to making this video, I was firing this thing a lot, but you definitely, like, this part of your finger will get worn out because it's a small thumb stud there. And I'm really like with the 3-inch, and again, this one's like an older one, so maybe to like break in, like this one isn't too bad to flick with your thumb. Again, I'm cautious just because each of my knives kind of flicks a little bit different. I can't do that yet with the 3.5 inch, but flicking it with my pointer finger, it definitely is, it's pretty sore right now just from messing around with this thing. So that was kind of interesting to me that we have the same diameter thumb studs. This one gives you a little bit more mechanical advantage. As you can see, it's a little bit further away from the frame if you line it up, but definitely something to be cognizant of. Same thing with the 3-inch, whether it's the TAD version or the one that I picked up. These cage bearings are like, they're angry. Like like as soon as you activate them and you kind of transfer that potential to kinetic energy, this thing flies open with force. Like it kicks back, and that's been kind of one of the themes, or one of the things that I've come to expect or notice about Mcnees is they don't mess around with the pivot system. But kind of conversely with that, or one of the downsides of that, is the closing, I would say. So these bearings are so slick that there really isn't a controlled way to close it. It's either opening and it drops open, or you're making sure that your fingers are clear of the cutting surface, and this thing is closing. It's not really slow or controlled at all compared to my other knives. And not to say that's it's not a showstopper by any means, but just something to be cognizant of. Like this thing's either opening or it's closing at very quickly. So just definitely be aware of that. The other thing I noticed right out the jump compared to a lot of my other knives that are this price, it's very metallic sounding when you fire it. Like it's almost like a metallic ping. I don't know how well like my phone is going to pick that up, but whether you're opening it or closing it, there's just a lot of like metal on metal sounds, which I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's something unique with the Mcnees, and I even noticed it with the 3-inch. Both the 3 inches that I own kind of, I wouldn't say suffer from it, but it's definitely noticeable. So just be aware of that. It's definitely not like buttery or sounding like a nice car door closing. Like it's very metallic opening and closing it. So just be aware of that. Again, not a good thing, not a bad thing. And then just to sum this up, I think like all in all, I love what this knife looks like. Open, close, show side, clip side. It's a very handsome knife. But I will be interested also, like now that these have been out in the wild for a little bit with this Magnacut finish, I do actually see several people that are changing the blade out. I've seen 2 so far that have changed out the blade for a 20 CV one, just based on like marring they've gotten, or like whether it's watermarks or whatever. I'm really not concerned about that. Like this is definitely going to be a user for me. Like I'm not worried about what it looks like cosmetically, but just something to be cognizant of if you're going to be spending this much money for it. So again, these things are definitely out on the market. I'll do a full review here of this thing coming up once I get a little bit more stick time with it. Again, I'm not too familiar with it yet, but I'm looking forward to what this knife can do. And yeah, kind of as an aside before I wrap things up here, I did end up getting the Lone Wolf Harse. So this is the T2. It's not the full Ranger, but this thing is a freaking beast, and I cannot wait to, like, honestly, like I got, who gets 2 Mcnees in the mail, and then they get, a circa 2007 Lone Wolf, and they're more excited about that one. So I'm really excited to review this. It feels great. Again, it just kind of further punctuated the fact that I'm very upset that Lone Wolf is not a thing anymore. She's been in a box for a while, so I need to work on the action a little bit. It's not not flicky or anything like that, but I'm really excited to review this one as well as my other lone wolf that I ended up getting. So with that, we'll see you next time. Hope you all are having a good week, and talk to you soon.